All right, I think I got it. I think I got it. I am almost there. Superstars. Yes, this way I can see the comments as we connect and we go live. I think I am live. Okay, all right. So if you're out there, you could see me, you could hear me. Just drop a comment into the comment section and let me know. Tari, I could see you. Tari, I could hear you. Unfortunately, I've been having a little bit of a hiccup over here on my end, but we're going to make this thing work, okay? And so let me just start all over again. And so I'm going to ask, have you ever felt like your social media content isn't quite hitting the mark with your ideal client? And so if that's you out there, I want you to go ahead and drop a one in the comment section and let me know, Taria, that's one of the challenges that I have with my social media. I don't think that my content is hitting the mark and I'm not able to attract the people that I want to attract to my business. And so if that's you, just go ahead, drop a one and let me know. Or maybe you are struggling to find the right words that would authentically convey the message that you want to have and get the right client to your business. If that's you, go ahead and drop a two. Let me know, Taria, that that's my struggle. So in other words, what I'm saying is you're speaking, but you're feeling like you're not being heard. And so our topic today is maximize your impact, how to craft content that captivates, connects, and convert. And so the reason why I'm talking about this, or as I was preparing for the show today, one of the things that came up for me, I started to think about when I first got into the social media space. And one of the things that I did, and I actually used to get excited about doing, I'm going to be quite honest, is collect swipe files. So if you're out there and you've heard of swipe files, let's go ahead and let me know if you know what swipe files are. Okay, and so that would be a great thing. I want to know how long you guys have been around in this space, if you've ever heard of swipe files, if any experience with swipe files. And for those of you who don't know what swipe files are, I'll tell you what they are. So swipe files are when you look at other people's content, you look at influencers' content, people that you look up to in the marketplace, and you take a look at things like they do for their website. So it might be website copy, how they write their landing pages. For me, it was marketing content. So how they would write their emails or how they would write their social media posts. And I would always look at the things that they were doing and the things that they were saying, to their audience. And in my mind, I thought by copying and changing just a few words around, I would get the same result with my audience. So if any of you out there have actually done that, it'll be great, for me to know. But that's where I used to sit in my mind thinking that the thing that would allow me to attract the right people to my business, resonate with my audience better, would be to take a look at what some of the top influencers or top gurus were doing or saying in the marketplace, their verbiage that they were using. And what I would do, once again, like I said, is copy, switch a few words around, and then voila, I would have an engaging post. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is a thing that I've learned. No matter how pretty it is, no matter how it sounded well and all good, the emojis and all of that stuff, one of the things I noticed, I was not getting the same type of result that they were getting on their posts. And so I started to ask myself the question, why? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to dive deep into how to craft content that really resonates with your audience. So once again, welcome to Social Media Saturdays. It's your girl, Taria, your favorite behind the scenes girl turned center stage. Each week, I set out to answer the question of how does the average professional or entrepreneur attract their divine client on social media and build a loyal following and their tribe? And then most importantly, what skills must you learn and who are you required to become? And so if you're just joining, let me know where you are watching from. So take a minute to drop your city, drop your state into the comment section. Let me know where you are tuning in from. And I'm also going to ask you to let us know who you serve in your business. So who you serve in your business, let us know, and how you serve in your business and how we can connect with you. So this is one of the things that I absolutely love to do in our time together, virtual network. So here's the thing, we won't know where you're from, we won't know who you serve, and we won't know how you serve and how to connect with you unless you tell us. So take a moment to go ahead and drop that information into the comment section. And even if you're coming back on the replay, so this would be a great thing for you to do if you're not catching us when we're live right now. You could go ahead and just let us know on the replay who you serve, how you serve in your business, how we could connect with you, and then where you are located. Okay. And so like I said, today we're going to have a really great conversation, and our conversation is maximizing your impact, how to craft content that captivates, connects, and converts. And so one of the things that kind of prompted this conversation today was questions that I get from clients and also from colleagues in the marketplace and or colleagues. One of the things that that's really hot right now is the topic of AI. So if you are using AI tools out there to help you in your business, to become more efficient in other things that you do, just go ahead and let me know that you're using AI tool. You're starting to understand how AI tools can help you. And especially if you're using AI tools in the realm of social media. And so one of the things that come up all the time is, as people are starting to use these tools and they're looking at ways to make things more efficient in their business, things a lot easier, because I know I too used AI tools. One of the things that I've been hearing and people are talking about is that they're not getting the type of engagement that they would desire on their content from using the AI tool. And so one of the things that they were thinking about, wow, this is a great tool. And what is going to help me do, especially in the area of content writing, this is going to exempt me from having to write the content. So I could just plug the information in to whatever AI tool that I'm using, and then voila, engaging content comes out, and then all of a sudden I am able to attract my right fit clients to my business and problem solve. And what they're finding is not so fast. So if that's a challenge and you're having that out there, just go ahead and let me know. And so one of the things that I always back up and say that these tools are great tools because, like I said before, I use them. But one of the things that I really got present to is that the tools don't replace me in my business. And so what they're able to do is help me enhance what I do. So I don't look at AI tools as a replacement. I look at them as an enhancement. So I'm not going to talk about AI today and go into all aspects of your business, but what we're going to talk about is really how to craft content, whether you're writing content on your own or you're using an AI tool to help you write the content. How do you maximize your impact with your content and attract the people that you want to your business? And so the first thing that we're going to talk about today is how to identify your core message. Now, I'm going to start here because this is the thing that I missed when I first started in the social media space. And sometimes I see a lot of people, this still miss it on the mark. And so a lot of times when we take a look at our content, we want to share the how. We want to share the how of what we do in our business. Okay, so people start with the how. And I'm going to tell you the most important thing that people miss is the why do you do what you do in your business. Now, that's going to be the thing I'm going to tell you right there off the bat. Sharing your why is definitely the first place you want to start when it comes to crafting your core message. So as you, whether it's videos that you're doing, you're writing content for your emails, your website, can people know the why? What's the story? What's your why behind you do what you do? And once you start sharing your why, then naturally people who resonate with your why, they're going to become attracted to you. You're going to attract those people. The second part, when it comes to identifying your core message, is getting to know your audience. And so a lot of times I hear this with clients, I hear this with people, they have an idea of things that they want to put out in the marketplace, but do you know how that thing affects or how it will help your ideal client? So get to know your audience. So do you know the pain of your audience? Do you know the thing that keeps them up at night? Do you know their struggles? Do you know the things that they desire? Once you really start to understand these things, it makes it so much easier for you to craft content and get your message out there that will be able to suit them. And it's so important because here's the thing about it. When we really take a look at it, most of us, we are not the only person that do what we do. So I would love to believe that I am the only social media strategist on the planet, right? But the truth is, I am not. So there are other businesses out there that offer strategies for social media. But here's the thing. What's my unique value in the marketplace? Do you understand or know what your unique value proposition is? And if you don't know what a unique value proposition is, it's that thing that you do better than no one else. No one can do it like you. And I like to term that thing as your it factor. And so as you take a look at the what you do in your business, the how you do what you do in your business, what is it that you're able, your secret sauce, your special flavor, your it factor that sets you apart from anybody else that does the same thing or the similar thing, and it will allow you to attract your people to your business. So that's the first place. If you have not spent some time identifying your core message, then those are three steps that you could start to take a look at, or three areas that you could start to take a look at that would help you uncover and develop your core message. So number one, you want to start identifying, uncovering your why. Why is it that you do what you do? So move away from the how of what you do and start to share your why, and you will not start to notice naturally more people will connect with you. Secondly, you want to spend some time to get to know your audience. So are you giving yourself the opportunity to get to know your audience? And once you know who you're speaking to, then you're able to craft your message, you're able to craft your content to either address their pain points, you're either able to speak to their struggles, and then share with them the ways that they could overcome those challenges or those struggles, and then get them to the ultimate goal or the transformation that they desire. And then last but not least, sit and spend some time thinking about your it factor. What is it that you do that uniquely is you, that no one else can do? And if you have, and I'm going to give you a tip, and if you have trouble in this area identifying your it factor, then it's time for you to take a survey. Ask people who have worked with you, ask your colleagues, and then they will tell you the thing that you do unlike no other person. So no other person can touch you in this area. And so once you understand those three things, then naturally it's going to allow you to help craft better content, better messaging in the marketplace. And so the second thing that I want to talk about when it comes to maximizing your impact and crafting content that captivates and connects and converts is also understanding the savvy social selling principles. Okay. And this is one of the things that I think that, oh my gosh, I missed it. I see a lot of entrepreneurs, coaches, business owners, they miss it on social media. And unfortunately, they think it's the tips, the tricks, and the trends, all the trendy things, all the new platforms. Those are the things that would allow them to reach their divine or ideal clients and attract people to their business. And really and truly, the thing that keeps you grounded is to understand the savvy social selling principles. And so if you don't know what the savvy social selling principles are, I'm going to share them with you. Okay. So I liken these 5 principles to the foundation of your social media. So once again, just like a foundation of a house, if you build your social media on these principles, then no matter what new trends, new platforms, algorithm changes, you will be able to weather those storms. So the first principle in the savvy social selling principle is social listening. The second principle is social influence. Then you have social networking, social selling, and then social follow-up. So those are the 5 principles. So I take a minute to just touch on each principle shortly. So the first principle, which is social listening, this gives you the opportunity to keep your ear to the ground. So you're on social media, and this is one of the reasons why I absolutely love social media, because it gives me the opportunity to learn more about my audience. So every time I flip open my camera and I do a social media Saturdays, whether it's the influencer's journey, I make a post, people give me feedback. And so are we paying attention to the feedback that we're getting on social media? Can you listen carefully to hear what your people are saying? Because they'll tell you. So people will tell you what they're struggling with. They will tell you their pains. They will tell you the things that they desire. They have conversations around it. So the question is, are we listening? So that's social listening. And then you have social influence, and social influence is all about how we show up in the marketplace. So how can we use our expertise, to help serve others? Social networking, and I love social networking because it's all about building relationships. And then once you have those 3 premises or those 3 principles working for you, then it makes it easier for social selling to occur. So unfortunately, what a lot of people do is that they jump to the social selling part. They jump into the promotions and the marketing of the products and services, the business, and they haven't laid the groundwork. They haven't done any social listening. They haven't showed up and provided value into the marketplace that would allow people, to see their influence. They haven't nurtured or built any relationships or any connections. They just automatically think that social selling is or selling or promoting is actually the first step. And even when you get to the selling part, that isn't even the last step of the principle. So the last thing is social follow-up. And so how are you, after you initially made the sale or you made the connection or you have a conversion, and conversion could be different things, how are you creating that experience? How are you going a bit further and following up with your connections on social media? Okay. And so I just laid the groundwork of the savvy social selling principles, but the one that I really want to highlight here that pertains to having impact or maximizing your impact when it comes to crafting your messages in the marketplace is social listening. And so social listening, it's a reason why it's at the beginning or one of the first pillars or the first pillar that you need to build, is because this is where, once again, you get the opportunity to actively listen to the conversations that are happening in the marketplace. And so are you participating in those conversations? Are you showing up in places where you can add value to the conversation? And then also, are you taking notes, and then are you getting feedback and enhancing your strategy that would allow you to serve better through your content? Okay. And so the third thing that I'm going to move into would be one of the promises that I always say every time I do a social media Saturdays show is that I'm always going to leave you with some things that you could start to think about, or things that you could implement in your business. So now we're going to move in to strategies that would allow you to connect. And so one of the strategies, and this is going to tie everything in that I shared in the beginning, is to, when you talk about your business, and then you're talking about content and attracting your audience and your ideal clients, the right fit people for your business, one of the things is use storytelling to make your content more engaging and relatable. So one of the things that I get from people all the time is, Taria, I don't know how to write engaging content. And I used to struggle. Like, I started at the top of the show talking about how I thought collecting swipe files and looking at other people's content and mirroring their content to my content, or mirroring my content to their content, would be the secret sauce. And it really isn't. The thing about it is, the reason why a lot of top influencers and gurus are able to write such quote unquote engaging content is because they have gotten present to this one thing, and which is using stories to create engaging content. And when I say using stories, all I mean is share from your personal experiences. Okay. So as you write that piece of content, what's the experience that you've had, or you know somebody else has had, you've helped somebody through? What's the story behind of that will highlight that content and bring that content to life? And that's what you want to do. Okay. And once you start to infuse storytelling and your experiences into your content, this starts to develop your personal branding, and it makes your content more memorable, and then your audience is more likely to connect with it. The second thing that we just talked about, so we talked about content, and once again, every time I think of content, what I think about is connecting conversations. And so, how are the ways that you can add value to your content? So, every time you write a piece of content, whether it's a written post, whether it's a blog post, a video content, long form, short form, a story or reel, what's the value that you're going to deliver in this piece of content? So you want to be able to be known for value. So these could be things like you including your tips, if you have how-tos, like I said, infographics, even lives like what I'm doing. This is one of the reasons why I absolutely love turning on my camera, because it is my way to give back, is my way of providing value to my superstars, right? And so start to think of different ways that you could infuse value into the content that you're sharing. And then also, the last thing, but the most important thing, is engagement. So as you share your content, you're sharing your stories, how are you getting your audience to engage with your content? And so there are different things that you could do. One of the things that I love to do, I ask questions all the time. So at the top of the broadcast, one of the things that you notice that I do, I always ask 2 questions, because I want to know, how is the content that I'm about to share, the information that I'm about to share, the value that I'm providing today, how does it show up for you in your life? Is it even something that you care about? So I'm going to ask the questions. And I'm not just going to ask the questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back at the end, and I'm going to check the comments, and I'm going to see how many people actually, responded. And I'm going to take a note of who's responding. So once again, this is social listening, and I'm also driving engagement, and it's giving me the opportunity to learn more about my audience. It's giving me the opportunity to learn about my superstars. Okay. And so those are the three things, or three strategies that you can take away today. So number one, if you haven't started doing this as yet, don't just drop content. Start to share your experiences. Start to share your stories. And it doesn't have to be long stories. It doesn't have to, be deep in depth, too personal stuff. You could share a story to create context around what you're sharing, or the value you're providing, in just 2 to 3 sentences. It's an art, I promise you. And then also, always make sure with everything that you do, add value and then engage. I say this all the time. Social media isn't about just posting content and having content on our pages just for having content's sake. So how are we coming back and engaging with our content? Are we actually tracking our data with the content? Okay. And so if this has resonated for any of you out here today, go ahead, drop a comment into the comment section and then let me know. Also, if you have any additional questions around the topic, feel free to drop your questions in the comment section, because like I just said, one of the things that I do come back and I check the replays. I do look for questions. I do look for responses, and I always reach out. Okay. So if anything is coming up for you, whether you're watching live now or you're coming back on the replay, do me a favor and let me know. And so before I close out this week's session of Social Media Saturdays, I'm going to leave you with the thought of the week. And the thought of the week is, social media is more than a broadcasting platform. It's a conversation. So as you move forward into your week, focus on creating content that speaks to the heart of your audience. Let your stories, or share stories that resonate, share knowledge, empower, and engage in ways that foster genuine connections. Remember, the content that touches lives doesn't just inform, it transforms. Okay. So remember, content shouldn't just touch lives, and inform, it should transform. And so that's it once again for this week's episode of Social Media Saturdays. It's your girl, Taria Hodge. Take care until next time. And if you are watching this video outside of our Storytelling for Super Achievers community, you want to make sure that you head on over to Facebook, type in Storytelling for Super Achievers into the search box. That will bring up the group and let you in. Or I just remembered, you could just check the link in the description. So take care until next time. Bye-bye.